Hey everybody, this is my Wii. This is a very ugly table and this TV displays my Wii image using HDMI. And let me tell you a little bit about it, but firstly let's enjoy a little bit of shop music. So what gives, right? That's a standard HDMI capable monitor that is currently set to HDMI, and it displays currently an image at a resolution of 720 by 480, as you can see over here. And this is what it's called in a Wii, I think, enhanced definition TV or HD TV at 480p, and the standard resolution that reruns by default in the PAL region is 50 Hz, and that's 576 interlaced, or in the NTSC regions 480 interlaced also, but this isn't interlaced. So what happens is every second line isn't really swapped around, so you get proper 60 Hertz of the image, as you can see in the right over in the corner, but also what you get is a very crisp display, and if I zoom in, you should be able to see exactly how much it's pixelated. The reason why I came to this menu is to show you what kind of resolution Wii is capable of. And for example, all of the, let's say, virtual console games and stuff that are basically legacy will use other kinds of resolution. So for example, here we have the Mario Kart 64, and this TV, because it's a standard monitor, doesn't support it at all, and it just wants to have a 1080p, and it only supports the progressive resolutions, which means you usually need something like a standard TV that is capable of displaying interlaced resolutions, because all I need to do right now is to restart Wii and it will come back to life. See, it's all good. That's the main problem with the setup, but apart from that, for all Wii games, it provides a really nice and clean image. That's still that TV, it runs just at the progressive resolution. Okay, let's start from the Wii itself. So it has two USB cables connected. I can disconnect one of them because it's only for the speakers I have here. So those are standard USB powered speakers. We can put them on the side here. Apart from that, that's the sensor, so we can disconnect this one too. And now for the important stuff. I have here a component cable. So that's a set of component connectors over here. Those are RCA jacks, and all of them are connected to this video converter component YPBPR plus digital analog or analog audio to HDMI. So that depends how the audio is being processed, because there is also a coaxial audio cable over here. So this little converter is also connected using USB over here. That's the power, that's the audio out to the speakers, and here's our HDMI port I have over here. So these are your outputs. You can also switch the type of audio that will be processed. So as far as I understand, you can switch to this coaxial input. But apart from that, that's really simple. And that's basically all. If you disconnect the cables, it will just turn red. So that means it isn't processing any image. This is your headphone, let's say headphone output, but you cannot control the volume. So this is what you need for this setup, the component Wii cable, and it's pretty standard. It should work across all the regions. It's apparently, I did a little bit of research, it's even better than a Wii's card cable, because it actually, that's the only cable that will provide you with a proper, nice progressive image. Apparently this card cable just do the interlacing, and here's so that's about $5 to $8. Here's the main box that does the conversion, and this isn't a line doubler. So just so you know, that's why we had that problem on the standard monitor, that it couldn't display the image, that interlaced image that we switches to. So Here are the standard component connectors. Here is the analog audio, and this is, as far as I understand, a digital audio. I never actually had a device that outputs that, so I cannot even test it. And on this side, all you have to connect is this USB power. You can connect it to any USB port, as far as I understand. It doesn't take too much power, about half an amp, so any USB socket will be capable of doing that. That's just a power LED, your HDMI and audio out, and that's analog to digital. So I think this versus this switch, and that's basically all. But I did some additional testing and I didn't notice any delays, so it does the job really well. I couldn't find any delays, which is really weird, because that's basically an analog signal that is converted to the digital frame that is pulled through the HDMI, and since there are no delays, it basically is magic for me, because usually you would get some kind of a little bit delays if you have something on the cheaper side, because this is roughly $10, $12, something like that. And before anyone comments, I know that this basically comes in a little box that you connect, and it's the size of the connector that you have an HDMI on the output, but those converters for Wii specifically, so those Wii to HDMI or something like that that you can find on Amazon or AliExpress, are basically this cable that comes with your Wii, which is a composite cable, so not a component one. That's a completely different thing, and it doesn't provide you with the progressive. And unfortunately, as far as I read the reviews, the quality isn't great, that conversion to HDMI. So I would actually go with this one, even though that's, I think that's 3 times as expensive, but that depends what you want to have. You know what also uses a nice component, cables, and can output a progressive image? PSP. Unfortunately, by default, PSP has this weird frame around this, the black frame, but that's true to the component output either way, so you can't really do much about it apart. I think there are some plugins for PSP if you hack it to fix that. But this time, if you start a PSX game, whatever that may be, that's a standard PSP thing. Well, let me show you that it is still connected, and I'm starting Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and but it will stretch the image. I think you can fix it without any problems, but apart from that, well, no, there isn't any screen mode, so I have to change the monitor settings. So we have swapped it out to 4:3, and it works really well if you can do exactly everything, just like on a normal PS1 and using your PSP as a controller. So that's really nice. And this cable, well, you just get one cable then, and only you connect the HDMI. So I'm really happy with that, and let me show you how that looks on a proper HD TV. So the good news is, if you use a standard HD TV instead, you will just be able to play your games just fine using your Wii. It will be able to switch just fine between different resolutions, so interlaced image wouldn't be an issue like it was in the monitor part. Here's a little bit of showcase how the image looks like exactly. So there you have it, guys. As I researched, that's the best way to get your image from the Wii, proper progressive 480p image on your HDMI display, in this instance a TV, because the component ports are not exactly present in the modern TV, so that's the best you can do right now. It works really well. See you guys next time, and let me enjoy a little bit more of Wii music.